Good afternoon. Welcome to all our students for the week 3 recording. And this week we are going to cover our lecture 3, and this will contain topics about the timely user experience. And this week's topics are pretty interesting, and I will need your attention. So we will be looking at some of the learning outcomes are models of system response time impact, expectations and attitudes, user productivity and variability in system response time. Also, we'll be looking at frustrating experiences, which normally happens when we are looking at different designs and when we look at especially things which are happening around us. So these are the key topics we'll be looking into our week 3 slides. Okay, now if you have a look at here, exactly this is what I was talking about. Like this is that frustration occurs, and this frustration can be seen in two images they have shown here. So let's say for example, we're talking about our current computer systems, devices which we often use, wireless connectivity and internet technology. So we all have become so much dependent on these technologies, and especially when these technologies fail or when these technologies don't work properly, it causes frustration. Even it can cause anger as well. Let's say, for example, in these two images, what we are looking at here is looks like a Japan railway where commuters are trying to get on a train. So from whatever angle you look at this picture, it will look kind of like a frustrating picture, that some of the commuters, what looks like the train is overcrowded and people are trying to get on this train. And it just gives an impression that it is a frustrating picture. Even I'm sure it will be frustrating more for those people who are experiencing this kind of their daily life activity. Well, anyway, okay, now the other picture is also if you are loading something and it's taking forever, and that also creates kind of frustration. And if the downloading fails, it can give you kind of an angry response from you. So these kinds of things can be frustrating. So loading graphic, audio, videos, images, animation, etc., will also impact how quickly we can do things in today's society. So, I mean, like we all know that we are living in a digital world, in a digital society, where speed matters, and this speed can come from computer processing speed. We're talking about wireless connectivity speed. We're talking about internet speed. We are talking about any kind of speed, downloading speed, uploading speed. So all these things matter, and they matter most because we now live in a different world. And why is it important from the designer's perspective? Like the designers will suffer if even they can develop a very good design to satisfy the requirements and needs of most of the users, but for whatever reason, that if the internet speed is slow, it will create frustration, and then your design brilliance will become secondary. People will not think about how good the design is because they haven't reached to the design. They haven't seen the features you have developed to develop a design, because what has happened that internet speed is slow. You cannot download your favorite video or whatever website you are trying to download just to view. So these are some of the things which we are going to look at here. Well, anyway, let's keep moving to next slide here. And what we are looking at here, lengthy or unexpected system response time can certainly produce frustration among users. Annoyance is the next level, and finally, they can become angry. So these kind of things are like they are very much dependent on individual's mood. We're talking about speed, and how quickly work can be done, or how quickly it can result in, let's say, for example, learning less, reading with lower comprehension, making more ill-considered decisions, committing more data entry errors. So this will uh, t- lead to more problems than what we are anticipating now. So system response time is one of the important factors, not only in from the designer's perspective, because designers have put efforts and time to create a good design, but things have gone wrong because of XYZ reasons, and those XYZ reasons could be slow internet speed. I mean, as you all are aware of, that if you are experiencing slow internet speed while you are doing something, how frustrating it feels. And everybody knows that. I mean, it is there is no second opinion about it. So, well, we will be focusing more on that, and this is important. Like as I said to you before, that how important it is. Anyway, there's a video for you guys to watch just to in your spare time. This is about timely user experience. Okay, we will not be watching here, but I will advise you to watch it later in your spare time. Okay, now look at the next picture, because we have been talking about user interfaces, we've been talking about designing. So especially images play a big role into our human computer interaction classes. Now, all three, four images here, I mean, they all look like images of extreme anger, frustration, and dissatisfaction. It could be the result of, let's say, for example, we are talking about SRT, which is systems response time. If the systems response time is like kind of a slow and it's unresponsive or less responsive, it will create this kind of images. Okay, but I guess this is important for designers to look at these images as well if they are going to develop something. It's not necessary that you only look at images or which are like positive images. I mean, it is important to cover information from or extract information from these images which look images of angry people. So one should be aware of that as well. I mean, I know at the end of the day, you don't want to do anything which will result in people showing this kind of anger or dissatisfaction due to any reason. I mean, it might be, let's, as I said to you, in these days, as we all are aware of the fact that slow internet speed creates anger, creates frustration. So this is something in a modern digital world, these are one of the main reasons where many people will display this kind of anger shown in these images. Okay, let's keep moving here. Okay, now we will be talking more about that. Its system response time has always been like a matter of concern, topic of concern for network designers, wireless manufacturers, telecommunication providers, and other engineers, network engineers, you can say that. And they all know that, and sometimes they all do their best to maintain and ensure that the system is working to its maximum capacity. This is what they do, but we don't live in a perfect world. Things may go wrong. Things have gone wrong. I think you all are aware of, like 2 weeks ago, there was an Optus outage, internet outage, which caused a massive disruption to those who use Optus network. Millions of Optus users were without internet for hours, almost like a half day. So this kind of things can create extreme pressures on designers as well, especially let's say if you're talking about network designers, these are all network related people, and their job is to make sure that the response time is as good as it possibly can be. Okay, now some of their steps interface designers can take to improve the timely user experience when it comes to the network. When it comes from network designers to interface designers, there are ways, there are measures, steps that can be taken to enhance your user experience. Say, for example, designers can optimize web pages. It's a good idea. It can help reduce the number of queries and accesses to networks. Human reaction time is another factor. In practice, users seems to be bothered or not. So, I mean, kind of things which I can understand and you can understand as well, that if a network is completely down, there's not much the others can do. But I mean, it's kind of a thing that tells us that we live in a fragile world where our dependency on modern equipment and these latest advancements and devices, which we are surrounded by, and if they go wrong, something goes wrong, it goes wrong, and if the system is down, is down. So it's kind of a very much dependency which can cause massive disruption to our daily life as well. Okay, let's keep moving here. We're gonna look at some of the other things as well. Optimizing design, I mean, so they've shown us an example here, which is Earth data research coming from NASA, which is one of the space agencies in America, and it's showing the geographic and temporal coverage of data sets before the data is downloaded. Here, the users has selected two data sets, so which is really, I mean, kind of something which can be important as well. Other than that, some other information we will cover later. But anyway, look at some these our polling questions for students to answer. Identify from among the following attributes of usability. So I will say learnability, usefulness, generalizability, subjective satisfaction. Probably I will go for A and B. This is what looks closer. Yeah. All right. Keep moving to other information here as well. Okay, now we are looking at things which are our system response time impacts are, because these things we know can happen and usually happens, and there is no guarantee that such things will not happen. So if we know that something is or something has a possibility of taking place, why not research it, have a look at it? So anyway, SRT definition is very simple here. System response time, it's a number of seconds it takes from the moment users initiate an activity until the computer presents results on the display. This is what you want. If you want to send an email, if you have written your email, all you want to do now, press the send button. If you press the send button, usually it takes probably 2 3 seconds, and then you get the response that email has been sent basically. And for your confirmation, you can go to the sent folder, and by double clicking it, you can check it whether it has been sent or hasn't been sent. Then that gives you satisfaction. But I mean, that's one thing, and it usually takes seconds. Like, I mean, you don't expect this thing to take 60 minutes, or sorry, 60 seconds or 1 minute or 2 minutes, which is something you really don't think in this day and age. Okay, if you look at from the user think time, which is the number of seconds the user thinks before entering the next action, so it's kind of a activity where users will be involved in looking at that. Say, for example, my first step is to start typing, then another step is to initiate activity, then the computer will begin, then the computer response will be completed. So this is what you are thinking. But of course, in an ideal world, this is what you want things to happen, and usually it happens. But on the other hand, we live in a world where systems can be down, systems or internet speed can be slow, or can be non-responsive. So in that case, it creates definitely frustration. So, well, anyway, let's keep moving further into our slides here. We are looking at the moment, we are looking at the models of system response time impact. This is a big topic for us to understand, that because the more important things we are going to cover here, and we will continue to cover. Designers of response time and display rates in human computer interaction must consider cost, must consider user expectation, must think about speed of task performance. This is important. I mean, of course, cost is a serious factor here. If you are using a slow system, Say, for example, even if you have got a very good internet connectivity, but if your computer is 5 years old, 10 years old, and you are expecting that it will perform to your expectations and it will do good performance, my answer is probably no. And your answers will be no as well. I mean, it really matters, it really does. The reason is that to get a good and optimum performance, you need to have good and excellent machines with good processor, with good RAM, and all these things count. So overall, if you look at the majority of users prefer rapid interaction. That's what the human's life is, as I said to you. If your response time is longer, it's not going to be good. I mean, it's not even good for any productivity, whether it's like you are working, whatever tasks you are doing is going to take longer. And it means the core purpose of productivity is rapid responses. If there are no rapid responses, chances are productivity will be sluggish, will be slow, will be not as per your expectations. So rapid response time, I mean, 1 second or less are preferable, but can increase errors for complex tasks. I mean, like we're talking about rapid response time. Suppose if I ask you to type www.google.com, you will see how quickly that page opens within a second, or say in 1 second that page gets displayed. So that type of activity is something you are after. And but later on, you go into more information, you want to search something on Google browser page, and then it might take longer because the other website might have a longer loading time, or there could be XYZ factors. So but in that case, but from the perspective of users, all they want is rapid response. And rapid response comes at a cost. If you want excellent performance, brilliant results to be displayed, then you will make sure that your machines, your whatever computer systems you are using, they are up to date, they are brand new, and they've got powerful processors, large amount of RAM. These are important things. And then when you have these, your internet speed should be also the best speed to produce best optimum results. All right, keep continue here. Okay, now we're going to look at some of the expectations and attitudes. Our attitudes control our lives, guys. This is for sure. Attitudes are a secret power working 24 hours a day for good or bad. It's a part of paramount importance that we know how to harness and control this great force. But guys, I mean, I fully agree with this statement. So these are type of things which we really need to work on as well. So it is true. I mean, attitude plays a big role without a doubt. Anyway, keep looking more information here. Users may achieve rapid task performance, which I've been talking about before only a few minutes ago, and reduce low error rates and get high satisfaction if the following criteria met. Users have adequate knowledge of the objects and actions necessary for the problem solving task. I mean, this is important. If you know where the problem might lie, or where the problem solution is, you might want to say, all right, it's okay, I can handle. I know where the problem is. I will go to this page. I will do this. I will do that, and the problem will be fixed. So it is something, if you know, but unfortunately, it doesn't. Is not the often is the case. Not everybody knows where where is the area where you can go and fix up the problem. So this is really kind of something you have to have a look at as well. Okay, other than that, guys, we're talking about the solution that can be carried out without delays. Distractions are eliminated. So these are some of the important things. If you can do this kind of thing, it can not, I will say 100%, but I will say it can alleviate, it can give kind of some kind of a satisfaction. If you know that how the problem can be sorted out. But basically it's all about your familiarity with the system, your knowledge about the system. But for many people who are laymen and have least knowledge or no knowledge of the system, it leaves them with a kind of a bad taste, kind of a system like frustration, and that can and they can become annoyed, with all these things, and later all those things then they are multiplied with each passing second. People start to become angry. All right, let's keep moving here. Okay, we're talking about expectations and attitude. There's some more information here. Primary factors that influence or that can influence user expectations and attitudes regarding system response time can include previous experiences, individual personality differences, task differences. Guys, this is important. We all are individual are different. Some people who have a patient nature or they will take these things not as seriously with those who are impatient or those who are in hurry to do something. But if you are kind of a person who is patient enough to know, yes, it's all right, this thing I can handle, I can wait a couple of minutes, I can restart the machine, I can do this, I can do that, or you may have experienced this previously as well. So it can then in that case, what actually happened last time. After 2 3 minutes the system was back to normal or whatever. I mean, it is kind of a, if you don't, but the thing is that if you haven't experienced before, and if your individual personality is kind of a jumpy nature where you have no patience for anything, and then it can be a problem as well. It also depends on task differences, what type of tasks you are doing. Suppose if you have to send an email as quickly as possible, but because of XYZ reason, or because of the slow internet or slow something else, your machine, it is taking longer, it is going to create annoyance, it is going to create frustration. So it depends. Like, I mean, as I said to you, uh, don't blame on say designers here, those who are designers of interface designer. Blame on things. Say for example, blame on things which are like I mean kind of a system fault or network fault or wireless technology fault or internet fault. I mean, these things can be there as well. Okay, we are going to look at here now. Another question, guys. Questions keep coming all the time. Which one of these would not be found in a good human-computer interaction system? Icons that can have specific meanings. I think that probably will be there. Common shortcuts like Control plus Z for undoing. Yes, I think this is a good thing. C is sounds that conveys meaning. I think playing sounds also is important. I mean, if the sound is played that your email has been sent, or you receive an email and you get a like a sound, and then you can check your email, whatever. A long command line to achieve a function. I don't think so. The D sounds pretty much off track. Well, anyway, keep moving. Okay, now we're gonna look at some, okay, because we are continuing here with some other information here, and we will continue with expectations and attitudes, guys. Okay, now these conjunctures may play a role in choosing the optimum interaction speed. So we are talking about two important factors here: speed and slowness. If something is slow, it is going to definitely create a negative mood among the users. This is for sure. No matter what tasks you are doing. Again, a novice, like, which means readers who are not experienced, like inexperienced users, may exhibit better performance with somewhat slower response time. I mean, this is also true. But you also look at the second one. I will come back to the first one later. When there's a little penalty for an error, users prefer to work more quickly. This is another factor. If users have experienced rapid performance previously, they will expect and demand it in future situations. So these three factors are very interesting. And I will come back to the first one. When inexperienced users, they may, I mean, exhibit better performance with somewhat slower response time. They will find it's all right. That's good. It's not a big issue for me. That is fine. I mean, that can be true. But then, if you look at the third one, which is like when you have experienced rapid performance previously, and then because it has been a good experience with you and you are an experienced user, and that will show that it is how it will be like, I mean, you will expect, I mean, you will expect that, and you will also want the similar thing in future situations as well. Okay, so these are, guys, important factors as well. Okay, let's keep moving to some more information here. Okay, user productivity and variability in system response time are important as well. Repetitive tasks, we're talking about problem solving skills, we're talking about people are willing to pay substantial amount of money to reduce the variability in their lives. For example, insurance industry is one of the examples here. So these are something important as well. Productivity plays big role. In case if you are thinking that system response time for any organization, it is something very important. They want is speed, good performance, and reliability. When these things are not there, everybody feels the pinch. And this is how we have been talking about, and this is how we make sure that if I mean, like, not everything is avoidable. The systems may go wrong. Something can happen, but this thing, I will say, there are some important factors here. All right, keep moving to, guys, more slides here. We're gonna look at, say for example, user productivity and variability in SRT. The progress indicators here, we are seeing a progress indicator here, like, which is showing maybe some kind of a, I mean, this is an upload manager and it shows the progress indicators reassure users that the process of uploading photos from Picasa, which is an Apple photo editor, to the web is underway and how far it has gone already. So this, you can see here, if they show you time, this is how much is happening. This is, you are in the queue, message sent, you are downloading another one. So this provides kind of a satisfaction that something is happening, even if it's happening at a slow speed, which is frustrating. But if it is happening at a faster speed, you like it and you appreciate it. Here, the users can also, see the results, or if they want to cancel, they can stop cancel as well. As you can see here, this is a nice little image here, which gives users satisfaction, which gives users kind of a, I mean, a reassurance. Yes, things are happening. Please stay patient. If you are sending a video, uploading pictures or whatever, it is happening. So I mean, out of your 100 pictures, already 50 pictures have been downloaded, then it becomes 51, 55, 65, 75. So you see some kind of things happening, and action is happening, and it gives you reassurance, it gives you satisfaction. Okay. Now, because I've been talking about frustration, and it is important, that we cover this to some extent. Frustration is kind of a it is all in is everybody's human nature. I mean, frustration, distractions, interruptions, they can all, spoil the party. If you're trying to do something, they can impede smooth progress, they can disrupt design strategies. So it's kind of a, I mean, you have to think about it, what design factors can be or should be, like, enable users to maintain concentration. So it is important, like, if users lose concentration, or if users become fed up, these are not good things. So please pay attention to this as well, and this is important. Yeah. The three initial strategies can reduce user frustration, and then include reduce short-term and working memory load. This is very important, very, very important. If you are trying to download a page and the page is taking forever to download, and it's going to create, oh, I'm not going to come back to this website. This is crazy. This is frustrating experience. Why am I, loading this website, which is so slow? Is not a good idea. So please, in your future assignments, you must include this. And this is also covered in Ben Schneiderman's 8 golden rules as well, that a good design should try to reduce memory load. So it should not be like a heavy page which you are trying to download. So my advice is that you also pay an attention as well. Okay, now we're talking about here also provide information about abandoned interfaces. This is very important as well. Increase automaticity. So these are very clearly important factors, which can play a role. So I would like to see them like use in your future assignments as well, especially in your next assignment. You can talk about it as well. All right, let's keep moving here, guys. And we another question here. We're talking about polling question for students to answer. The name of the document should be shown on the applications menu bar. I think you would like to see that here as well. Toolbar, I will say status bar. Title bar, probably not really, but status bar is good. So this is important as well. Further, we're going to talk about how to reduce user frustration. We can increase server capacity, network speed, network reliability. These are factors which come from outsiders, which we are talking about network engineers, those wireless engineers, technicians. This is their responsibility. This is their job to make sure that user experience is good. A slow network speed is definitely something. No, 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 we don't want that. It is something. You can also focus on improving user training, online help, online documentation, which can also include tutorials. These things are happening and happening on a large basis. So a lot of online help material is available these days as compared to what we saw maybe say 15, 20 years ago. So things have been changing and have been changing in a positive direction. So designers are playing, or or they are doing whatever they can to enhance user experiences. So in short, the smart designers will focus on these important things to help users get less frustrated, or get not frustrated at all you know and a lot of research is being done as well on what can be done to reduce user frustration. And in the last 20 years, I will say positive results have emerged. And today's use designers have been able to design and formulate strategies which have reduced user frustration to a large extent. We cannot say to 100% it has been done, but I guess this thing will always remain there. Problems are there. I mean, few things are not in your control. Let's say, for example, network reliability, that's not in your control. Or what about something, there's a hacking attack, or maybe a virus attack, or something else, which can slow down your network. So there are a lot of things. Anyway, okay, the last one is catalyze public discussion to raise awareness. We can hold public awareness as well, like this is like an open topic. What can be done, what cannot be done, and that all counts, that all helps as well. So these things are necessary as well. Okay, now some of the guidelines for system response time. Users prefer shorter response time. This is a crystal clear statement. Longer response time greater than 15 seconds are considered not good. They are disruptive. People start thinking, "Oh my God, what's going on? Why is it taking more seconds to open the page?" Maybe just you are trying to open www.xyzw.com. Why is not happening? Shorter response time leads to shorter user think time. This is true. So if the users are getting things done quickly, users will not be thinking about other things. Once yeah. Well, anyway. Okay, faster response time should be appropriate to the tasks. That's for sure. A faster space may increase productivity, but it may also increase error rates. So this is also something important factor people have to look at. So definitely. You know. Okay, now SRT guidelines. Users should be advised of long delays. This is important. If you advise users that there's a problem with the system, this gives them some satisfaction. I guess this is a good thing. Modest variability in response time is acceptable. Definitely it is. Unexpected delays may be disruptive. So there are some guidelines here which can, if followed, can reduce frustration to some extent. Definitely it can happen. Okay, now we are almost about to finish our class here. What we have discussed today in week number 3, summarize some of the points, which is the most likely topic of today's class. Can you explain why? Which is the least likely topic of today's class? Can you justify your opinion? We can discuss these things in our tutorial classes as well, so which is really good. But anyway, guys, one more question is here. We're talking about which of the following statement is true. A good user interface design doesn't save money as it is expensive. Bad user interface design doesn't really affect the reputation of the company. A good user interface design saves time and effort. The last one, which I don't agree with that, the user interface design doesn't matter as long as the product is great. I don't think so. It is important. ABC sounds good, because user, I mean, it's really, it matters. It matters a lot. We all, as a designer, we must focus on this as well. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you for listening to my lecture, and I will be with you with week 4 lecture next week. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a good day. And I will upload this video after the recording, and it will be available on your Moodle web page. So, I mean, I would like to say if you have got any issues to discuss, you can discuss in lecture classes, or you can discuss in tutorial classes. Yeah, definitely these things are important as well. Okay. All right, guys. Time to say, for example, I will stop the recording here. Okay.